He's been a chiropractor in Ogden for over 50 years, from which he is looking forward to retiring at the end of this month. And I figure that since he managed to help start this center and the Big Sky Retreat while he was working full-time as a chiropractor, I personally can't wait to see what he comes up with when he retires next month. So please join me in welcoming a man on whose shoulders we all stand here at this center, Dr. Clark Odden.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I can hardly tell you how nice it is to be here and to see all of you, barely, but I can see you, yes. It's wonderful. I enjoy being here. I consider it a privilege and always have. I consider this one of the more enjoyable things I've ever done whenever I had a chance to. The people who come, you know, we've been through about half a dozen ministers over the years, so, you know, don't fade out here. There's things coming. The music, I'm very impressed with our music, and we didn't have any years ago. And when it started, we've had some magnificent people, instrumentalists, singers, writers, concert pianists, little bands. Rick has been instrumental in a great deal of that for years. I'm so pleased that we have that. We used to try to sing to ourselves, but it didn't come out terribly well. I really am very tickled to be here. I have so many things running through my head. She was saying just a moment ago, you know, the practitioners are available, other people. If you have a question, just ask anybody, which is what I, for many years, have told my patients when they first start with me. I said, if you have a question, whatever it is, just ask me. If I know a good answer, I'll tell you. If I don't, I'll make up something that sounds really nice, which they do, just to see what I'm going to say, I think, sometimes. But, yes, I'm retiring from practice. It is a little confusing. It is great fun. We are having a wonderful time. My lady and I, we're going to the Big Sky Retreat, and we've been doing a little traveling and getting ready to do some other things. Just a little bit of history more. There's no real point to this, except I want you to know, because the duration of this deserves your loyalty if you're so inclined to be here. You know, we don't say you've got to come to church. We don't tell you what you have to believe. We don't tell you what you have to do about anything. The only responsibility is that you serve yourself and the community you choose in the way that you think is the best. The first minister that I was with was Reverend Herb Brandt. Some of you might remember him, a very few of you. After we'd been with Herb less than a year, he died. At that time, we did not even know headquarters existed or that there was a parent organization. We didn't know anything. We didn't have a monthly magazine. We had no contact with anybody else. And so the deal was at the time with about the 15 of us that were together, I think at that point we had moved into the old new house. Some of you know where that is or was. It's not there anymore. And the deal was that if I would accept talking on Sundays, that we would stay together and not disband. We did that, and here we are. Here we are. There are many others who deserve thanks. A lot of them not here now, but I'm sure they're very happy with the whole thing. Ministers come and ministers go. Churches change, open, close. It is you. It is the teaching that deserves your attention. This is simply a place where we like to come together and share that because it is important to us to remember what's going on inside each of us all the time. Sometimes we get waylaid, sometimes we seem to lose our way, sometimes there are squabbles, sometimes there are difficulties, not enough money, too much money, somebody ran off with the car or the microphone or something. But it always eventually comes together and it serves this community. And the community serves this, because this is why we gather. And there are many reasons in this that each of you has we don't need to know about. Sometimes it's fun, get in on the stories, but you don't have to come and confess anything. Might be fun. Well, we'll get to that later. You see, the thing about Science of Mind that is so nice is that Science of Mind, as I said, we don't tell you what to believe or what to, even what to read, for heaven's sakes, and there's some pretty screwy stuff out there. But Science of Mind is self-demonstrating, as are all the major metaphysical groups of nowadays. Science of Mind is self-demonstrating, and it only shows you what you're willing to receive and ready to move to. You demonstrate the veracity. You demonstrate the truths. There is no one universal truth that you're looking for. You're looking for your truths. How do your truths work in this world? How do you make those truths get you, bring you, take you to a happier life, a more fulfilling life? Relationships, money, home, family. You decide that. That is the path, and that is the only path. The path of the Tao is motion and returning. We move, we do prayer treatment, we return, and then we move again into new things. We open new ground, new fields, new places to plant, new harvests to make. But we do that. We don't come here, really. We could fuss about the words and different writers and so on, but you'll get the point anyway. What's his name? Cleary wrote that it is not necessarily that we're here to attain, but to attune, to find the harmony within that allows us to attain temporary comforts and joys and happiness and peace and people and things to do. But it's the harmony of the attunement that makes the difference. It's the harmony of me and my surroundings. It's not the dualistic world where I have to get rid of all that stuff. No. You can if you like, but it's tough. It is the harmony that needs to exist in my inner and my outer, in all that is there and all that is here, remembering that I get to determine what that is. I get to say how I choose to live. I get to say how I choose to experience what I want to do. And yeah, things come up and we say, oh, I didn't ask for that. Oh, no? I wouldn't want to say bet on it because you can't track all those things back to their origin. But we've all planted seeds we'd rather not harvest. But sometimes we do anyway, don't we? It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. See, there's one right there. Yeah. We all want to be protected. We all want to feel safe to ourselves and around others. And so we kind of hide sometimes. And when a voice on the inside speaks up and says, make a different choice, we say, what? I'm perfectly happy with what I'm doing. Oh, you are? Okay. because it's not going to be made for you. Mind is not going to step inside you and say, you're stupid. It's more subtle than that. It's more subtle than that. Yeah. How many of you are aware of Sven and Oli? Heard of Sven and Oli, the two guys who lives up north there. They's good friends out in the north countries in Minnesota. They live up there. Well, Sven and Oli, they like to go fishing. And so winter's coming on, you know. And Sven goes to Oli, says, Oli, let's go ice fishing. Oh, ice ready? Oh, yeah, I know a new place, yeah. Let's go ice fishing. Okay, so they pile in the truck, they get the stuff, put it in the truck, and they go drive down to this ice, whatever, and they get the stuff out of the truck, and they get on the ice, and they start to auger, make the hole in the ice. And a big booming voice says, there are no fish here, go to a different place. So Oli says, okay, that's all right. Pick up the auger, move over there. So they go over to this other place. And start cranking. And a big voice says, there are no fish in here. Go to a different place. Sven, what's going on? I don't know, Oli. Let's try one more. So they go to a different place. And they put the auger in and they start going. And the big voice shows up again and says, I told you there are no fish in here. Go to a different place. And Oli can't stand it anymore. He says, are you the voice of God? And it says, no, I'm the manager of this ice rink. So sometimes you have to make a different choice. And be careful where you go. Read the signs, for heaven's sakes. I could tell you some more Sven and Oli, but Dottie would hide under a chair. You see, what we really look for in ourselves, even unknowingly, because mind in us knows who and what we are. And so it always is it doesn't force us, but through the workings of our own choices and our movements and our visions, we decide where we're going. And mind is always sort of pushing us to make a different decision, one that's more harmonious, one that is more telling about the truth that lies within us. And when we make those choices, then it sort of automatically comes. When we make a choice against our inner self, it doesn't berate us. It says, okay, if that's what you want, we'll follow this along for a while and see where it goes. Science of mind is concerned with the substance of your words, your choices, and your life. It's concerned mostly with helping us to learn how to choose wisely, rightly. That doesn't mean correctly according to someone else, because no one out there is going to choose, well, they will, but their choices often aren't, terribly harmonious with what we're really after. People try, we try. Dear friends in here, you don't mind, perfectly helpful. You talk with them, you share with them. We all have secrets, as I said. It doesn't matter, but there's always someone around who can at least help point you to your own path. But you get to pick. You get to pick. You get to pick the substance. Does it serve me? Does it serve what I really want to do and experience and be and have? Or is it working against me? What is it not to say, to put words to the principle of I am enough. What it is not is that it does not grant you license to do anything and everything you want. You have that already. What it grants you is perhaps a better ability to focus on what needs to be decided. What needs to be experienced, because for your highest and best, it will take you there perhaps a little sooner, without so much pain, discomfort, or anger, or all those other things, you see, that we kind of like to build in here and there because it sort of takes us off the hook for a little while. It's rough on us, but we do it. The substance of our words, the attunement of harmony can be very exciting. What it does give us is that it focuses our responsibility, our ability to respond to those things within us that are more important. It gives us the responsibility of saying to others, look, I don't run your life, but I want to share your life. I want to be in your harmony because it helps my harmony. And that is all I have to share. What I have to share is my quiet, some of my noisy times that are happy and fun and silly. But all of them demonstrate a harmony because that's what Science of Mind is, a demonstration to us of what's going on inside and a demonstration to others of how we might be toward them. It is not a judgment. It is not an indictment. It is not a shaming. It is not a saying, oh, your heart isn't open enough. If you just meditate a little harder and a little longer, if you just spent more time on the floor in a miserable yoga pose, if you would drink this herb from wherever, if you can get it down, I don't know what it's going to do for you, but you can give it a try. I mean, some people have had some pretty exciting stuff going, I guess. But you get to pick. And you live the results. And you can change those results. There are things that we may have within us that we have chosen that are set to do. We refer to destiny, but remember, there is no set destiny except that we are one with the infinite. That can't change. No matter how many times you may have missed the mark, or you feel you've been rotten, or you've chosen wrongly, or you've hurt people, or you've hurt yourself, or you've done whatever, or you ate too many chocolate bars, or you whatever, it doesn't matter in the long run, because you will never lose the grace of the infinite, ever, for anything, ever. So when things fall apart, or even if they go downhill a little, or even if they've been flat for a while, just choose again. Remember what you are and who you are inside. The phrase, I am, may be basic to our teaching. Back in history, it was a phrase that you was unlawful to say in many places. You could get martyred or just plain executed for even saying it out loud in some teachings. And there were people to whom that happened. Many. So how do you want to be martyred? How do you serve? And how does that which is full and complete within me get through to me more so that I may choose better? I am enough. The winds stir within me. The rivers flow within me. The sky changes because of me. Times change, cultures change, feelings change, choices change, wars come and go, citizens, cities, cultures. Mind and the infinite one that we are is the substance of life. Going in and out of form, serving us while we serve it, always there, always abiding, always push-pulling us toward itself, never ceasing, never giving up. Even when we do, it is there. And where is there? Here. Good. This is not a first grade class, but here. Here I am. I reside in the all that is. And we were taught a long time ago, all that I am is all that is. All that God is, I am. I may not be all of God, but all that I am is God. There is nothing else there. There is nothing else there except for us to claim our heritage consciously and allow that to dissipate, to do away with, to melt away our lesser self, so to speak. Remember, it's not a person. You don't have to engage it unless you want to treat it like it. Remember, there's a phrase in metaphysics that says, God is not person, place, or thing, but God can act like a person, place, or thing. So go through the act. Let go of all that does not serve. Let go of that which in you which does not serve yourself. But when the time is right, we will do that. It doesn't happen all at once. It doesn't come from a single affirmation. It's like one, what is it on TV, one piece of asparagus fixing your heart or something. You know, it doesn't happen instantly. Although some people have had wonderfully big experiences instantly. It takes, and this is another item for some other discussion, time. Time, remember, is compressed consciousness. And as it flows, it does not disappear. It's what Gebser called presentiation. The entirety of infinity is here now. Time's past, time's present, now. It is compressed consciousness that we seek to experience in our own consciousness. Pick those things. So the fullness of you comes to the fore, makes itself known. You don't have to proclaim it to the world. You don't have to become a guru on a mountaintop. Just be all of what you can be. And if you don't feel like you've retained all of it yet, join the club. We're all there. But we're all here. Instantly, intimately, in the place where God is. Working in, as, through, by, and for that, which we can't define, which has no opposite, which has no form, except all the forms that we see in our world, and which is for us to use, to teach, to heal, and to love. To teach lovingly, to share in harmony, to heal lovingly, to heal blessedly, and to love with all that we are, even if at times we show some fervor and anger and whatever. Underneath it is the substance of love. Nothing else can do away with that. It is always there. We may cover it up. We may at times even work against it, but we are there. Remember what Rumi said? Probably didn't say it the way I'm going to say it, but he said it anyway. That it is not only that the dewdrop slips into the shining sea, but that the sea slips into the dewdrop. We are it, the same before and after, up and down, any other direction, any place you want to go, any how, where, when you want to go, any time before and after, now and then, and any time in the future or any place in the future. We need have no fear. We live in a self-reiterating, regenerative universe, and every pattern that we have ever seen with the modern physics or with every pattern in the past, every pattern in nature, it reproduces itself over and over, slightly differently, in different forms, but to serve the movement of consciousness. And that's what we do. We regenerate, we come and go, we move up and down, in and out. We love. Sometimes we forget. But mind does not forget. The infinite never forgets. And when we seek that awakening again, it will always be there. It will always be there. Whole, complete, and perfect, full of what it is. The presence of God fills me. You've been told that. The power of God moves me. The love of God supports me. All that I am, God is. Whole, complete, and perfect. And you say, oh, but I'm not perfect yet. Well, yeah, you are. You just forgot. And so you're playing with the rest of it, all of us. And the play, however, that we forget is that it is sacred play. It is sacred play. We don't need to treat it. We don't need to prostrate. We don't need to sacrifice, except give up some of the debris that we've accumulated over time. But just give it up. It's difficult sometimes, I know. But the reward of the freedom to think, feel, be, love, have, share to your fullest in this marvelously beautiful, wonderful, adventurous life that we have is beyond all measure, beyond all words. But we feel it, and you can't tell me you don't feel it inside, because I know you do, or you wouldn't be here. Even if you haven't been here before, there's something in you that you feel that brought you here or that takes you somewhere else. We're not the only place. Every place can lead. Every teaching, every thought, every sentence, someone heard something and you think, well, what does that mean anyway? But it changed their whole life. One last thing. Talked about it enough already, perhaps, but I read a phrase years and years ago, and for several months or more, I couldn't figure it out, and I thought, what, this is not right. And the phrase was written by a Sufi. It said, how can you, O man, being fragmented, choose anything? And I thought, wait a minute, what do you mean? Wait a minute. You getting after me? I didn't understand that. You're telling me that I'm not capable of, and it took me a long time to figure out that it wasn't a statement. It was a question. How can you choose? And the answer is very simple. Choose. Choose again. Choose until you find the right choice that gives you what you want to live and experience. Choose according to your heart. Make the choice. Make the jump. Make the leap of faith that everybody's saying about. I love our music. It's just really nice. Make the new choice. You're not enough to beat off everyone else. It's not a competitive thing. It's not I'm better than you. It's not anything like that. It means that Spirit within me is enough to handle anything and lead me where I need to go. I am enough. I am enough to live a successful, happy life in joy and in peace with friends and family and relationships and abundance and health. I am enough. Those words should settle in you like peace itself, like a light rain, like viewing the Snake River from the Tetons, like seeing the magnificence of the sky. I am enough. It's a question of how will you serve? And how will those thoughts serve you? And you can only know by doing it. That's the fun part. Thank you very much for this morning. Nice to hear. That's right. Yeah. Would the practitioners please come? These blessed people who have given a large part of their lives to help them prepare to help others need to be remembered and made use of. So their life has chosen a service to give. Join me for a little bit here in quiet time to give thanks. To give thanks for the stillness that is within. The stillness that allows and accepts me as I am all the time. The stillness that holds the peace, that holds the joy, that holds the love and the abundance of my life within it. The stillness that encompasses me as the quiet hand of God holding mine. God does not work through power, but through harmony. And in the stillness is the harmony. In the stillness is where I find the healing. In the stillness, I find the love that passes all understanding, that does not need explanation, but only my choice. And I am in the presence of the Infinite One. As myself, it is my life. It is the law into which my words go, and from which I experience the beauties, the pains, the harmonies, some difficulties, all the things for which I am enough to answer with love. To teach, to heal, to love. And I invite you all to enter that stillness whenever you feel a need, for it is always there waiting. And come forth from that stillness renewed, invigorated, encouraged, with substance in your words and in your heart and in your movement and in your choices. We give thanks this day for everyone here and the service that they give. The music, the practitioners, the gifts, the money which serves a purpose beyond what we think. The relationships, the friendships, the smiles, the hugs. All of that is a demonstration. For that we give thanks. And I invite you to say with me, and so it is.